game that just transpired a few minutes ago, as the Seahawks did lose to the Los Angeles Rams at the last possible second, as they got a game-winning touchdown by Demarcus Robinson. So, still recovering from that, but we got Sunday Night Football as the Minnesota Vikings host Joe Flacco and the Indianapolis Colts. And man, is this going to be a really good football game. As Jonathan Taylor and Flacco and the Colts go on the road to take on Jefferson, Darnold, and the Minnesota Vikings, or as Tom Grossi likes to call them, the purple and gold incarnation of Satan. But man, this is going to be a good football game, as it is a battle between two of the most underrated quarterbacks in the National Football League. As Joe Flacco, that was brought in from the couch again, he led the Browns to the playoffs last year when Watson went down, and now he is a member of the Indianapolis Colts, which now he's trying to lead the Colts to the playoffs, which Gardner Minshew could not do last season. Meanwhile, the Vikings trying to avoid losing 3 in a row. Oh wait, no, 4 in a row. 3 in a row. They're trying to avoid losing 3 in a row. They lost to the Lions 2 weeks ago, and then lost to the Rams a week ago. And now they face the Indianapolis Colts, which Anthony Richardson, he got benched during majority of this after the game that he had against the Texans after he was clearly too tired. But that was just a bad call by Anthony Richardson, going out to public and saying that with a calm demeanor and just thinking that that's going to work out. Now Joe Flacco is in there. Sorry, I'm still eating some nachos of mine that were made at the during the Seahawks Rams game. But Sunday Night Football is next. So the Colts, last time they faced the Vikings, and the Vikings ended up pulling one of the greatest comebacks in NFL history, and still is to this day. The Colts were up 33-0 and then gave up the 33-point lead to lose 39-36. And that was about 2 years ago. So that was a while ago. So I'm still having some of my nachos before we get started in this football game. But I'll stop once we get to the actual gameplay. But we're about a few minutes away from kickoff, so we will see what the Vikings can do against the Indianapolis Colts. I'm going to have one more bite, and then I'm going to pause. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna mute my mic for just a second. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So we got a Sunday night showdown between the Colts and the Minnesota Vikings. This is going to be a very fun game. I think this has the potential to be a very fun matchup. But, of course, we will see what ends up happening. I do believe this is going to be a really good football game. I believe this one could be close. Maybe potentially go into overtime because of these two close teams. The Vikings, I do think they have an advantage being at home. So I think the Vikings have that home field advantage in their favor. But I'll wait until we get more viewers to go on ahead and give out some shout out some sponsors of this video, of this live stream that I have handpicked. So, and I don't sponsor him indirectly, but it's just something I would suggest to some people. But, man, we got a great showdown oncoming. So, here we go. The game is about to get underway as the Vikings are at home trying to avoid losing 3 straight against the Indianapolis Colts and Joe Flacco. A man that was with the Cleveland Browns last year that led the Browns to the playoffs, seeing if he could do the same coming from the couch for the Indianapolis Colts. And it looks like we got a national anthem coming, but we got some reporters talking about Joe Flacco. But man, Joe Flacco, this brother has been a story for the last few years. He was, of course, a Super Bowl champion with the Baltimore Ravens, but then ever since Lamar took over for Joe Flacco, he's been kind of all over the place. He was with teams like the Jets, he was with the Browns. I know those two right off the top of my head. But Flacco's been all over the place as a backup. And now last year, I think that takes most teams into a consideration. The Jets won, yeah, B. Yeah, I mean, I did not expect it, but hey, y'all got the win. We'll see what y'all do in the next week. I'm not sure on who you will all face. Let me check that real quick, since you are here. But man, it's good to see you again. Good to see you again. Finally, those Jets got another win. My goodness. But let's see who they got the next week. Oh, the Jets got the Cardinals. That could be a really close game. I don't know who to decide on that game yet, but I'll have a prediction video out here in a few on Wednesday. I'll have a Week 10 prediction on my list, and also I'm gonna later on in the week I'm gonna put out a poll of which game in the afternoon y'all want me to do. Of course, I'm gonna wait for my schedule first. But I'm already looking at a few of them. It looks like the Cardinals and Jets are one of them. Let me see. Hey Siri, what is the schedule for Week 10 of the NFL? So I'm just going to check that really quick. Okay, let me look at some of the afternoon games. So we got the Eagles and the Cowboys, and then also along with the Jets at the Cardinals, Titans at the Chargers, and then that's it. Those are the only 3. So I'll have those as a poll. So if I do have an available open day, because I'm currently trying to find a job. But I think the 2 top ones will be the Jets and the Cardinals, and the Eagles and the Cowboys. Those will be my top 2. So I'm gonna put in those 2 in a poll later on in the week. Let me know in the poll whichever one has the highest percentage. I will do. So we are about to get started. Underway here in Minnesota as the horn has been sounded, one of the greatest traditions in the NFL, as the Vikings are looking to try to get back in the NFC North race. But the rookie kicker, Will Richland, will now kick it off to Tyler Goodson and Ashton Dolan. So we are underway in Minnesota as the Vikings are taking on the Colts. And it will go into the end zone, and it will be a touchback. And Flacco, for the first time this season, since being with the Browns, and then also with since Anthony Richardson got hurt and then returned from injury, he will now be the starter for the remainder of the season for the Colts. So we'll see what they can do. They have a lot of potential on the offense. I love Michael Pittman Jr. and along with a few other pieces on this roster. So I love what I see from the Colts, but we'll see what they can do. 1st and 10 for the Colts at the 30-yard line as we're about to get underway. In the first snap, Flacco hands it off to Jonathan Taylor for a gain of about 2, maybe 3. But Flacco, he led the Browns to the playoffs last year. He's been with a variety of different teams. 5th team in the last 6 seasons. He was with the Browns. He was with the Jets, the Eagles, and the Broncos. Hold on just a second. Sorry about that, guys. My dogs. Come here. Come here. Come here. All right, I'm just gonna hit her and Karen with my dogs. And Taylor up the middle gets about almost enough for a first down, just a yard short, and that'll bring up third down and short for the Indianapolis Colts early in this football game. But man, no barking, Nala. So we'll see what the Colts can do. It is 3rd and 1 for the Indianapolis Colts, and we'll see what the Colts can do. Are they? I think they're probably going to run it. Highly likely. 3rd and 1 coming up for the Colts. Are they going to get it? Flacco looks to throw, throws it down the left field, and it is caught. It is caught by 83. I don't know who that is. 83. I'm not familiar with some of the Colts players. No barking. No barking. Sorry about that, guys. It's my dog. Hold on. I'm going to mute myself for a second. Alright, sorry about that, guys. It's my dogs. But 1st and 10 for the Colts. Hand off to Jonathan Taylor. He's got room down the midfield. First down inside of the 30. Down to almost the 25-yard line. It is Jonathan Taylor, a longtime Colt. And man, this brother is a beast in the run game. And I'm glad that he got re-signed to the Colts because he is an amazing player. And with this team, they pretty much need him for majority of their run game. But it is 1st and 10 now at the Vikings 26-yard line. Flacco, he lost the football in the pile-up. The ball is loose. The Vikings are saying that they have it, and no sign yet. No signal yet. And it is Vikings football after a missed fumble by the Colts, and the Vikings get an early takeaway. My goodness, let's see what happened. On the handoff, it was Jonathan Taylor that lost the football, and then it was recovered by Harrison Smith in the pile. My goodness, what an offensive play for the Vikes. And they get a huge big-time takeaway early in this football game. I'm just going to have a bite here of my nachos really quick while we're on break. Oh man, this game is already getting off to a good start. A defensive takeaway for the Minnesota Vikings. Man, this game is looking good early. Yeah, but I'll have a poll out later on in the week if I am available on Sunday, which I'm still waiting on that. Remember, we will be live tomorrow as the Buccaneers go on the road to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. Man, that's going to be a good game. I think the Bucs are personally going to get blown out, but anything can happen with Baker Mayfield. No barking. Hold on, guys. I'm going to grab Noah. Hold on. No barking. Yeah, I'm just going to hold my little barker here for a second so she calms down. But, there we go. Got another little treat. So, that should hopefully tie her down. But we gave Robbie one as well because she's over here also. But this is my little pup. I showed her last stream. But she's one of the cutest little pups I've had in my life. She was the first puppy I ever got. It's the first pup I ever got. So, this is her. So, she's a little bundle of joy to have around. She's a little bundle of joy. But, man. So, the Vikes are now have possession of the football. So, now it'll be 1st and 10 for Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are trying to get back in the NFC North picture, as it was fumbled at the 24, and that's where the Vikings will start. Darnold looks to throw it. It is caught by 84. I think that is Nealer. And that, yeah, I think it's Nealer. So, man, that was just a good pass by Sam Darnold. Darnold looks to throw, and it is a pre-snap penalty, I think. Or was there a trouble with the clock? Oh, they're re-signaling. Instead, it is a first down for the Minnesota Vikings. And it is a Naylor, I think, that got the first down. I'm familiar with some of the Viking players, and then also some of the players for the Colts. I'm not familiar with all of them, but I'll be able to shout them out. So, Darnold getting a play call in there, but let me know who your favorite team is, and I think we all know who one of them that's in here. So, 1st and 10 for the Minnesota Vikings at the 35-yard line. Darnold hands it off to Aaron Jones. Jones running down the left field. He's got first down right around midfield. Aaron Jones, the former Green Bay Packer, gets a huge first down, and I bet Tom is not that happy right now, Tom Grossi. But, man, what a big run by Aaron Jones. He was one of the big pickups by the Vikings in free agency. And that is why I ultimately think they are a really good, sneaky squad that could potentially make the playoffs this year. Because the Vikings, they are just looking that good. Of course, not the last 2 games, but first 5 games, they were looking really good. So, 1st and 10 for the Vikes. Darnold throws it. It is caught. TJ Hawkinson, his first game back for the Vikings this season, and he gets his first catch of the season. And finally, TJ Hawkinson is back in the lineup. My goodness. It is 2nd down and 8 for the Minnesota Vikings. Darnold looks to throw. It is going to be caught on the sideline. It is Brandon Powell for the catch and a first down for the Vikes. My goodness. Brandon Powell, I think he played some time with the Los Angeles Rams for some time. Yeah, he might have played some time with the Rams. So we will see what ends up happening, but Vikings are looking good in their first drive of this football game. Darnold fakes the handoff, looks to throw, pressure is coming. It is caught by Jordan Addison behind the line of scrimmage. He gets about 1 to 2 yards on the carry, making a negative play into a positive play. But man, we got a lot of good players on the Vikes. Oh, yep, and it's showing the starting lineup for the Minnesota Vikings offense. All right. So it is 2nd down and 9 for the Minnesota Vikings at the 40-yard line of Indianapolis. And Darnold hands it off to Aaron Jones. Jones gets decked and only a gain of 3 on the carry, maybe just 2. And now I'll bring up 3rd down for the Vikings. But Darnold has 14 touchdown passes, which is tied 5th in the NFL right now. Behind some primarily notable quarterbacks. I don't know who all is on that list. I know that Jaden Daniels is on that list somewhere. So, 3rd down and 6. Darnold throws. It is caught. Jordan Addison, the 2-year man out of Pitt, with a huge first down for the Minnesota Vikings. My goodness. The Vikings have been looking sneaky this year. And I had them as my early season dark horse this season. So, I was right on that. So, we'll see. But, man, that was a good pass by Sam Darnold. That was a good pass. Finding Jaden Daniels, Jordan Addison wide open. Man, that was a good catch. Now it's a 1st and 10 for the 31-yard line of the Colts. And Darnold hands it off to Aaron Jones. He gets about 3 yards on the carry, and there is a flag down and I think there's a flag down, so we'll see what that flag is. And we'll hear from the referee. It's Sean Smith, the head referee, that calls a hold on the defense. It is Brian. It was Brian. And let's see the hold. So it was on the defensive line, so oh, yep, that's going to draw it up every time. Yep, that's a hold. So it is now 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the 23-yard line. Handoff to Aaron Jones. He is knocked at the line. No gain on the carry. And now bring up 2nd down and 10. And now some of the Colts defensive starters. Well, man, this squad is just good. The Colts, they're one of those sneaky underdogs. Darnold looks to throw. Throws, has time. It is caught by 11. And it is down at the 16-yard line. It is, let me see. Sure, I couldn't quite get the name of the player. But it is a catch and down to the 16-yard line. It's 3rd down and 3 coming up for the Minnesota Vikings. 3 receivers to Sam Darnold's left. Aaron Jones cuts back behind him. And Darnold is going to look to try to get a touchdown. Darnold looks to throw. Has time. Pressure comes. He escapes down the left. Throws it to the end zone. Intercepted by the Colts. And that will be a touchback. And after a fumble by the Colts on the first drive, Sam Darnold throws an interception on the first drive of the game for the Minnesota Vikings. And it is Franklin. He was looking for T.J. Hawkinson, just underthrew him, and Zaire Franklin gets the pick and the man from Syracuse, Zaire Franklin, gets a huge interception for the Indianapolis Colts. My goodness, that was a heck of a pick. But hold on, I'm going to get some more nachos while we're on our break. Yeah, I'm just taking time in between commercial breaks. Just to finish up my nachos because this is almost pretty much the only one meal I've had today. I had lunch earlier today, so this is pretty much on my only other meal. Sorry. I'm just eating some of my nachos because this is the second meal I've had today. Sorry about the barking in the back. That is my dog. Sir Robbie, come here. Ah, there we go. Oh, I know. Want you? There we go. Now I'm gonna get my one as well. Now, come here. Now, come. No, come. No, come here. There you go. There we go. Just gave a little chip to one of my dogs. But now, after an interception by the Colts in the end zone, now it was Zaire Franklin with the pick for the Indianapolis Colts defense. And now it'll be the defense of Minnesota trying to get another takeaway. Each side has one takeaway on this game. So we will see, of course, if they can come back on that specific category. It is 1st and 10 for the Colts at the 20-yard line. Flacco looks to throw. It is caught by Jonathan Taylor behind the line. He has got a first down there at the 30. And a huge pickup by Jonathan Taylor. But man, the defense of the Vikings was really good throughout the first span of the season. But since the loss against the Lions, they've been kind of shook, pretty much. So some people are calling it the Honolulu curse because it's the Lions. But I think they hopefully should come back to win this game. But I mean, they should not lose this game. But Flacco hands it off to Taylor, gets only a gain of about 1 yard. So that'll bring up second down and short for the Indianapolis Colts. And Jonathan Taylor, he leads the team with 5 touchdowns this season. He leads the team with 5 touchdowns. And Jonathan Taylor has been one of those big major pieces for this Colts offense. I think they're pretty much just a quarterback away from being a really good team and some defensive pieces away from being a good team also. But 2nd and 9 coming up for the Colts. Flacco looks to throw, has time, in trouble, throws, it is caught by Isaiah Downs, wrapped up, and he's not going to get enough for the first down, and it is 3rd and short coming up for the Indianapolis Colts. But I believe it was some good pressure made by Andrew Van Ginkel on the play. And in the end, it was either Andrew Van Ginkel that was the man that brought him down. But it brings up 3rd and 4 coming up for the Indianapolis Colts and Joe Flacco. 3rd and 4 coming up for the Colts. Flacco looks to throw, has time. He throws, overthrown and incomplete. Just overthrew Jonathan Taylor. And that'll force a quick 3 and out by forced by the Minnesota Vikings defense. And a huge 3 and out, or well, 4 and out pretty much, forced by the Minnesota Vikings. That is a huge pickup on the carry. But man, that is just a good defensive stand. And Brandon Powell will be the man to return. Okay, and Powell catches it at near the 10, running down up the midfield and down at the 24-yard line, and that is where the Vikings will start. So I think we're going to go to commercial, but Vikings get the ball back, still scoreless with 4:26 left in the first quarter. But I'm going to take some time to munch on my nachos, but I'll be back. Sorry about that, guys. I was just finishing off my nachos. But, man, the Vikings are going to get the ball back around their own 24-yard line. So, we are currently on a commercial break right now. So, man. So far, it's been a pretty good game. Both sides are playing defense relatively well. Each side already has 1 takeaway, 1 interception, and 1 fumble recovered by the Vikings defense. So, I'm just going to move a few things on over here really quick, just so I can have a little snack. But I'm gonna try to not eat much on here. But man, But Justin Jefferson, through 5 seasons, has 6,549 yards receiving. Has about 97.7 yards per game, which is the most in the NFL throughout that span. My goodness. Justin Jefferson is just a big man. He is a really good player. I've not heard his name called this game much. And it's a flip back to Jordan Addison. Addison returning down and is close to the first down. It will depend on the spot. And they are giving it to him. What a play by Jordan Addison. Doing like a little flip around, like a reverse. That was a huge big time play by Jordan Addison. And a great play ball call by Kevin O'Connell. He's been one of the best offensive coaches in the NFL, right there with Shanahan. This guy, that brother is an amazing offensive coach. Other than, of course, Kyle Shanahan, that can't seem to get past the Super Bowl. But second down coming up for the Minnesota. Oh, wait, no. Is it second down or is it a first down? Still waiting on my side to see. I think it's second down and 1. So, just shy of the first down for Jordan Addison. Almost got it. But with replay assist, they backed it up to the 1 yard short of the first down. So it is second down and 1 for the Vikings. Handoff to Aaron Jones. He's got it first down easily. And got a first down for the Minnesota Vikings. And man, Aaron Jones, ever since he came over from Green Bay, he has been a massive role in their run game. After having Dalvin Cook be out for a few years, they needed a guy like that. And I think they got him in Aaron Jones. But we've not heard Justin Jefferson's name called out yet. But Zaire Franklin in the linebacker spot for the Colts. And 2 receivers to the right. And Darnold looks to throw. Pressure comes from behind. Throws. It is caught. Justin Jefferson. Speak of the devil. Justin Jefferson gets the catch for a huge first down for the Minnesota Vikings. What a catch by Justin Jefferson. His first catch of the night for the great player. My goodness. That brother, Justin Jefferson, has been a playmaker. And man, he was drafted in the same class as DK Metcalf. I think he was drafted in the same class. And that receiver core was an amazing draft class for receivers. But flips it back to Aaron Jones. And Jones running down the right side gets a gain of 1, maybe 2. And I think the Colt wanted a flag for a hold, but not going to get it. But a gain of about 1, so the Minnesota Vikings will now have a second down and 9 after the carry of 1 by Aaron Jones. But this core of the Minnesota Vikings, they have a potential to go deep in the playoffs. With the roster that they have, the offense and the defense, if they can get better, this team could be a dark horse in the NFC, right there with the Commanders. But second down and 9 coming up for the Vikings. Darnold looks to throw, flips it to Jones. He is tackled immediately for a loss. A huge loss on the carry. And it is number 41 on the bring down. And that'll force a third down and very long for the Minnesota Vikings. And it is Stewart. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Grant Stewart with the bring down. So I'm just learning the new names of the Colts. I've not watched the Colts much this season because of their slow diminishedness, but Vikings I've kept a close eye on. But Darnold takes the snap, looks to throw, 3rd and 17, throws. It is caught by Hawkinson, but is leveled. And I mean literally leveled by Moore. My goodness, what a takedown. He got flipped on his back. That looked like a WWE move right there. And Elijah Moore I think it's Elijah Moore, something like that. Moore gets the takedown, and what a huge play. Took out his legs from underneath him, and what a big tackle made by the defense, and a huge force punt for the Colts. And it'll be Isaiah Downs for the return. But man, this is going to be a really good game. I think it's going to be close. It has the potential to be a really close game. And it is going to be, did it go in the end zone? Yes, it did. Touchback. And that'll take the Colts up to the 30-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 for Joe Flacco. A man who once terrorized the Pittsburgh Steelers that actually got a win against the Steelers, I believe in week 4, if I'm correct. Week 4 or week 5, one of the two. So it was week 4 or week 5 that the Colts upset the Pittsburgh Steelers in Indianapolis as well. So it is 1st and 10 for the Colts. Joe Flacco under center. And it is Jonathan Taylor in the back and then a receiver out to the right. And Flacco hands it off to Taylor. Taylor running for about 4, maybe 3 to 4 yards on the carry. Jonathan Taylor has been one of the amazing running backs for the Colts during his career with Indianapolis. I don't remember exactly which year he was drafted because I'm new to the NFL, at least for the matter of the last 4 years. So I'm not familiar with some of the names because I didn't start watching football again until like 2019 when the Rams took on the Patriots, and then I missed out on the Super Bowl between the Chiefs and the 49ers. But I got back to watch. I just got back to watching football about 3 years ago, so I'm just looking to do that same, just getting back into the football field. But I got a comment on one of my videos that just popped up on my side, but it was something about Isaiah Simmons that they don't even need him, which that's a good point because the Cardinals, they are looking really good. I cannot ignore what the Cardinals are doing. I thought that they were not a really good team, but now that I'm seeing what they're actually doing, the Cardinals have me legit terrified. They really do. The Cardinals, they remind me of 2 years ago's Detroit Lions. They really do. So, I mean, the Cardinals, who knows? Maybe they might win the NFC West. Who knows? Because if the Niners are hurt, they're not going to win the division. If they're hurt, they are not going to win the division. The Cardinals are a confusing team. Yeah, you got that right, Kyle. You got that right. All of a sudden, they had 8 wins combined the last 2 years. And now they've gone to have a 5-win season, the best season that they've had under Jonathan Gannon, which that brother is a good head coach. He's been doing a great job in Arizona. And I think if the Niners continue to get banged up, I think the Cardinals might have a legit shot at the NFC West. Other than, of course, like the Rams, the Seahawks potentially, if they can rebound from what happened from a few hours ago. If they can rebound, they could win it, but I'm not expecting it. I'm just taking as much joy as I can because it's a rebuild year for the Seahawks, pretty much. It's a rebuild year. So, my man. But who do you have, Kyle? I want to know who you have. Do you have the Colts or the Vikings? Let me know. But it looks like we're going to come back from commercial here in just a second. But Minnesota, I went to Minnesota once during my early years. I went to Minnesota when I was like, how old was I when I went there? Like 5 years old. I was 5 years old when I went to Minnesota. I have not been back up there since the age of 5, and I'm now 20. Handoff to Jonathan Taylor up the middle, gets about 2 yards on the carry, and that'll bring up 3rd and manageable for the Indianapolis Colts. But this game is going to be ugly. I think there might be some Joe Flacco magic tonight, so I'm going with the Colts. Maybe. I'm going with the Vikings just because I don't think they are going to lose 3 straight. Because they are just really, I think they're a really good team. I had them as one of my early season dark horses. And it's already paid off so far because they're right now 5-2 last time I checked. And Flacco looks to throw, has time, throws. It is tipped in the air and incomplete. 4th and 5 now, and they'll be forced to punt again. My goodness. And Joe Flacco's gone about 3 and out on 2 of the drives. had that fumble that was a handoff to Jonathan Taylor. Man. But the Texans, they did not look so smooth against the Jets last week. I think they might potentially need some help on their O-line because that is just a not good thing to lose to the Jets. And I don't think the Jets are going to make the playoffs, but their chances are very slim. That's a good point about the Vikings not losing 3 straight. I think they're a good team too. Yeah, agreed, Kyle. Yeah, and I said this at the early of the season. I said this months before the season even started. And people were getting on me saying that I didn't know what I was talking about. But where are they now? They're 5-2, third place in the division, could possibly jump back up to second place in the division with the Packers losing. But if they win this game, they could likely jump up to the top of that category. But Darnold, he's been with a couple of teams. He was drafted by the Jets, and then he went to Carolina, had some time under there. San Francisco, where he was the backup to Purdy, and then now in Minnesota, which is working out for him so far. And a handoff to, I'm not sure who that guy is. It's not Aaron Jones. Is that Cam Akers? Yeah, that's Cam Akers. Oh, wait, what? Oh, right, he was traded from Houston to Minnesota. That's right. I remember him. Oh, I remember that. My goodness. I didn't think he was actually going to play a snap. But probably good for the rotation. Well, 1st and 10 now for the Vikings. Cam Akers is in the backfield this time instead of Aaron Jones. And a handoff to Akers again. He has got about 4 yards on the carry. Another good game by Cam Akers. He played with the Minnesota Vikings a couple of years ago. And then also played with the Los Angeles Rams during their Super Bowl run. So, I know a little bit on Cam Akers. And now Ham is back in the backfield. I don't know his first name. I do know his last name is Ham. Oh, he's one of the shifted players. He's one of the fake wide receiver areas. And Darnold looks to throw, has time, flips it to the back to Akers. It is caught, but he doesn't get enough. He gets about 1 yard loss. Cam Ham. Oh, okay. All right, Cam Ham. That's an interesting name, Cam Ham. Kind of rhymes. I don't know who named him, but that was a good job. But 3rd down and 6 now for the Minnesota Vikings. Sam Darnold, he's been really good this year. I'm trying to see one of the stats. It's 7th in the NFL right now. But 3rd and 6 coming up for the Minnesota Vikings. But Darnold looks to throw. Has time. Throws it. It is caught by Hawkinson. And that is a 1st down for the Vikings. T.J. Hawkinson. But there is a flag. So this one could be coming back. It is a hold against the offense. So that catch to Cam Akers for the 1st down does not count. And it was the former Jaguar Cam Robinson on the hold. A man that was traded for after one of their O-linemen went down. So Cam Robinson guilty of the hold. So yeah, he was traded to the Minnesota Vikings just in the week. So he's had some time to try to get adapted to the Vikings. But already a costly hold. So instead of a 3rd and 6, it's now 3rd and 16 from the Vikings 31-yard line. And Darnold flips it back. And oh boy, it's a little switcheroo to Jones. And it looks like he's got the 1st down. What a trick play by the Vikings. What an amazing trickery by the Minnesota Vikings. It was Sam Darnold, then he lateraled it back to Justin Jefferson, and then Jefferson lateraled it to Aaron Jones. What a trick play by the Minnesota Vikings. That was amazing. What a trick play by the Minnesota Vikings. That is going to be a top 10 play if they win that game. That is going to be a top 10. My goodness. That was a great play. Great trickery. And I think the Seahawks should try to do some more of that from what happened this past week. But Darnold looks to throw, has time, he is in trouble, he is sacked. Ball came out, and it's picked up by the Colts. There is a flag down, so for right now, it is a scoop and score touchdown for the Colts. But there is a flag. It might have been a face mask. Hold on, there is a flag. Let's see what the flag is. There is a flag. It's a touchdown for the moment if it stands. So the rule on the field is a touchdown. And there is no flag. It is a touchdown for the Colts. A scoop and score by the Colts. Let's see what happened. So it was Stewart in there that was able to force that ball out. And what a big time play made by the Colts defense. The second takeaway of the game. And now that means that it's points for the Indianapolis Colts. No flags. And it is a touchdown for the Colts. And they take the first lead of the game. It is more with the scoop and score. What a play by the Colts. My goodness gracious. That was a good defensive play by the Colts. And now, extra point is up and on the way, and that is good. The Vikings are down early, 7-0 against the Colts after Darnold lost the football, and it was recovered by Moore, and that is a touchdown for the Indianapolis Colts on a scoop and score. My goodness, what a play by the defense. And I don't know who that guy was. Let me see who that was. I can look up rosters. Hey Siri, what is the roster for the Indianapolis Colts? Let me just see on who that guy was. So more. Let me see if I can find him. I'm trying to find him. Let's see. He's 23. Oh, Kenny Moore. Kenny Moore. I had the Moore part right. Kenny Moore the second. So he made the scoop and score for the Colts. And man, that was a big time scoop and score. A big time play by the Colts defense. And now the Vikings will get the ball back after the scoop and score. My goodness, that was a big play. But I'm still covered from that game that happened just a few minutes ago, about an hour ago. Still recovering from that. My goodness, that was a close, hard-fought game. But dang it, we almost had it. Almost. But, I mean, hey, you gotta have those learning curves. Gotta have those learning curves. And I hope Mike McDonald learned his lesson. I really hope he did. Because there's just no room for that in Seattle. I just hope he learns from that mistake. On going for it on fourth down, when you're in field goal range, I hope he learns from that. I really do. Alright guys, I'm having a little candy as a little snack. But man, just a big time play by the Colts. Nothing the Vikings did wrong. Because Sam Darnold, he just got hit so hard that he lost the football, pretty much. But, man, I want to go over some teams. Let me know if there's a team in the chat that you want me to talk about during commercial breaks, and I will. Is your heart broken after the Seahawks lost today? I mean, a little. I mean, it's somewhat broken because we had a chance to come back, but part of it is not. Because with a new coach, you gotta have those learning curves. And I believe Mike McDonald is gonna learn from his mistake. Hopefully he does, because that is just not okay. I am hot on that. But I'm not too upset because the Rams did do their best. They won the turnover battle. They did everything they had to do, especially in the end with that miscue on fourth down. I would have taken the points in that perspective. But just a bad miscue by the Seahawks. And I just think right now Brian Grubb is on the hot seat. And I think Ryan Grubb needs to get fired. Because I just think that Ryan Grubb, he's a first-year offensive coordinator in the NFL. He spent some time with Washington. I just don't think his schemes are working so well, transitioning from college into the NFL. I would go after another offensive coordinator. I don't know who is on the line. Yeah, grub the chub. Yeah. But I don't know who would be out and available for hiring as far as offensive coordinators go. I know Chip Kelly is one. He had some time with the Niners, but handoff to Aaron Jones. He's got 2 yards on the carry, maybe 3. But I know Chip Kelly, he spent some time in the NFL as a head coach. He's with Ohio State right now as far as the offensive coordinator. But I don't know who is available for our offensive coordinator. I mean, Shane Waldron, I would probably take back because I probably would consider it, but not quite because Shane Waldron, his offenses were just too predictable. But I don't know which offensive coordinators are out and available. But Darnold in shotgun throws. It is caught by Naylor, I think. Waldron has been bad in Chicago. Yeah, because they couldn't even post a point. A few points they got posted on the Cardinals. They just couldn't improvise on some of the times in which they had with Caleb Williams. But I'm not sure which offensive coordinator I would go after. For sure not Shane Waldron. Yeah, Waldron. Yeah, he's gonna get fired in a few weeks. I could clearly see that from the Bears. But Darnold fakes the handoff, throws. It is caught by Naylor again, I think. Oh wait, no, Oliver. My bad, Oliver. Let me look at the roster. Hold on. Let me look at the roster for the Vikings. Hey Siri, show me the roster for the Minnesota Vikings. Okay, Oliver. Let me see if I can find him. Oliver. Here is Oliver. And it looks like there was a gain on the carry. Aaron Jones got a gain of about a few. Oh, Josh Oliver, tight end. Josh Oliver. Okay. But which one is Naylor? That is my question. Which one is Naylor? Naylor is 83. 83. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm familiar with some of the Vikings players. 3rd and 1. Handoff to Jones. He is snuffed short, I think. It's going to depend on the spot, and they're marking him short. Are they going to go for it? And I think Kevin O'Connell is going to take that risk. Because he's been known for doing some 4th down stuff. But it was speed in there for the tackle. Which that's a cool last name to have. Which, if your last name is Speed, you got to have a lot of speed. But I believe a timeout was, or is there a timeout called? It is 4th and inches. The offense is staying on the field for now, but they're going to call a timeout. The Vikings call timeout, but as I was saying about the Seahawks, I just think right now they need to go after a new coordinator because clearly what Ryan Grubb is doing right now is clearly not working. I'm not sure what other offensive coordinators are currently on staff for the Seahawks, but they need to make some changes because I did like the fact that they were running the ball more. I did like that. But some of the passes that Geno Smith threw were just not good because they were throwing interceptions, that pick six most notably to Cameron Kitchens. But I just think they need a new quarterback right now. It's either Sam Howell or you tank and try to get a top pick for a quarterback. And it's a run and a 1st down. They do a Viking push. Nick, I try to name other names other than the brotherly shove. So the Vikings use the Viking push to get the 1st down, and the Vikes get a huge 1st down on 4th and inches, which that was a good call by Kevin O'Connell. He's been good and consistent at going for it on 4th down in those short situations. But 1st and 10 for the Vikes now into Colts territory as well. So it is from the Colts 42-yard line. Darnold looks to throw, has time, he escapes, and is brought down maybe for a loss of 1. And it is Stewart in there for the tackle. But man, I mean, I know of Latia Latu, one of the rookies out of UCLA that are on the roster for the Colts. I don't remember what number he is. I believe he's 91, same as Byron Murphy, but I'm not sure. Grover Stewart was in there for the tackle, the nose tackle. Now bringing up 2nd down and 10. And Darnold looks to throw, has time, throws, it is caught. It is, I'm trying to get the number, it is Cam Akers for a catch and gets a few yards close to the 1st down, but it'll bring up 3rd and manageable for the Minnesota Vikings. And it's inside a field goal range. It is 3rd and 3 coming up for the Minnesota Vikings. And there's Richardson. First time I've seen him on the screen. Anthony Richardson is on the sideline. He's not going to probably see some playing time until next season. Unless Joe Flacco does go down and get hurt, which we never wish that upon anyone. 3rd and 3. Darnold throws, and it is incomplete. It was intended for Justin Jefferson and incomplete. That'll force the Vikings to either kick a field goal or punt. I'm not sure how long of a field goal that would be. If Flacco struggles, then they'll probably go back to AR. Agreed there, Kyle. I do agree with you on that. So, oh yeah, he had it. One hand. So it is a 53-yard attempt coming up for the Vikes. And the kick is on its way, and it's no good. Wide right. And that is a huge missed kick. And now the Colts are set up in very good field position as Joe Flacco and the Colts will get the ball back. But, oh my gosh, just missed it. Just by about that much as you look at it. That much. My goodness. That was a huge missed kick. But let me check my picks now that the Seahawks game is out of the way. I was going to do that at the beginning, but I had the Seahawks, so unfortunately that is wrong. So I've only gotten 4 wrong. 4 wrong and 9 right. So that means the Colts and Vikings, I have the Vikings picked, and then the Buccaneers and Chiefs, I have the Chiefs picked. So I'm currently 9-4 on the week, and we do got some big games next week. I'm gonna make a thumbnail for my weekly predictions here in a little bit, and then also try to get a weekly prediction video out by Wednesday at the very latest. So I'll have that video out in a little. Still gonna try to figure out who I have picked in each of those games. But when do you think the Chiefs will lose? Honestly, I do not know. I honestly do not know. But let me look at the Chiefs' next few games. Hey Siri, show me the Chiefs' remaining schedule. So, of course, after Tampa Bay, they face against the Donkeys in Denver. Then they go on the road 2 straight times against the Buffalo Bills and Carolina Panthers. Then at home against the Raiders on Black Friday football. And then the Chargers, then at the Browns, the Texans, and then at the Steelers. And then top it off with on the road in Denver to take on the Broncos. If I'm looking at this, I could potentially see a loss to the Bills, possibly, because the Bills, for some weird reason, they can beat them in the regular season. It is on the road in Buffalo, the same place it was played last year during the divisional round. But at the same time, I just do not trust Josh Allen when he plays against the Chiefs. I do not trust him. And then Denver, you don't know with them because Bo Nix, he has been looking good, but recently lost to the Broncos. I mean, not the Broncos because that's his own team. Which one was it? What team was it? Ravens. They lost to the Ravens, so they'll play the Donkeys next week. I think they'll get the win there. Bills, that's a bit of 50-50. Panthers, easy. But other than that, Flacco throws. It is caught. What a catch. A slide and grab by number 16. Yeah, Donkeys is what I call the Broncos. It's what I like to call them. Because Seahawks and Chiefs just do not like them. Especially what the Seahawks did to them in that Super Bowl, which I still look at that as the best game by the Seahawks this far against the Broncos. But other than that, I do think they could lose to the Bills, maybe to the Texans or the Steelers possibly if they can get their game together. But hold on, hold on. It is caught by Isaiah Downs. Joe Flacco threw it to Isaiah Downs. Let me check that comment really quick. Yeah, they got embarrassed today. Absolutely. I had them as an honorable mention. I did not have them in my top 10 last week. But after that, they're not making it into the top 10. After that. But, man. So, Richardson has a 44% completion percentage, while Joe Flacco has 65% completion percentage. So, that's much better. Yeah. And a run up the middle to Jonathan Taylor gets about 2 yards on the carry. And that'll be about 2 yards, but let me see what that comment was. Flacco is dealing right now. Yeah, he is. The Colts are moving right now. But the Cowboys, they just need to start tanking because the Cowboys are just looking atrocious, as they have for the last few years. But 2nd down and 8 coming up for the Indianapolis Colts. And Flacco is in the back. Fakes the handoff, throws it. It is caught by Alec Pierce. And gets a 1st down. What a catch by Alec Pierce. Let me see if there was a comment. I thought I saw one. Nope, I didn't see one. Alright. But yeah, the Cowboys, I think they need to blow it up and rebuild because they are just looking atrocious. They just look bad. They can't stop the goal, which is the run. They can't get a run game established and ultimately cannot beat the good teams. But Flacco, I think he's doing really good. He's running the ball more, which I think is letting off the pressure of him just a little, and which is good for any quarterback. Flacco looks to throw, and it is going to be caught. There is a flag down. It is 83 on the catch, but there is a flag, so this one could possibly be coming back. I think Stuart Smith is getting the call. That's the referee's name. An illegal shift against the Colts, so it's a 5-yard penalty. It is against the man that caught it, Granson. I don't know the guy's name. I'll look at that. But they're showing some replay from the Colts Texans game. I think this is when he called for time. But that is just atrocious that he did that. He needs to mature in that area. Have you seen Flacco's cleats? They have studs that individually moved to prevent injuries. Supposedly? Huh. Interesting. And, oh man, Jonathan Taylor gets wrapped down for a loss of 4. Let me see the rest of that comment. I wasn't able to get to it. Pretty cool tech. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know about that coming into this game. I didn't know about the cleats. But, yeah, Joe Flacco and Anthony Richardson talking on the sideline. They were going over film. But Anthony Richardson, I don't think he's going to see any playing time until he is actually needed. Unless the Colts get blown out, which is rare. So, 2nd and 19. Flacco looks to throw, and it is incomplete. My goodness. And Isaiah Downs got trucked. A.R. yawning on, oh my God. That is just, that is a bad look for a quarterback. And I don't think he's going to get traded to the Seahawks. I don't think he's going to get traded. I don't think the Seahawks are that dumb to try to go after Anthony Richardson. I had faith of him going to Seattle at first, but after this recent act, I don't think that is a good option. If I were to go after a quarterback, I would go after Malik Willis. I really would. I would try to go and trade with the Packers to get Malik Willis. That's what I would do. The handoff to Jonathan Taylor is going to be brought down for a loss of 1. And watch out. You don't want to bring him down. You do not want to do an unnecessary penalty, Vikes. But that'll be 4th down, and I think that'll force the Colts to a field goal. But I mean, if I were to go out there and try to get a quarterback at the deadline, I would go after Malik Willis. I would try to go after him if Jordan Love is still hurt. I would try to go after Malik Willis because Malik Willis, what he does with his legs, he can do really good things. I believe Willis could be really good. Malik Willis has had a good couple of games, but he's not a franchise quarterback. I mean, he could be if he's under the right setup. I think if he were to go to Seattle right now, I think he would struggle a bit at first because he wouldn't know the play call, the play sheet. But with time, I could see Malik Willis as a good quarterback because from what I've seen from this man, he can be really reliable if he had weapons like DK, Lockett, JSN. If he had those weapons, he would thrive under Seattle. And I think that they should go after him instead of staying with Geno Smith. Either that or try to go after a quarterback in the draft. But Malik Willis, I think it just going right now, this season, this is a good chance for the Seahawks to try and go out there and win the division. And if you want to show that you're all in to try to go and win the division, you can go out there and trade for either O-lineman or try to go after Malik Willis. Either one could work. Because O-line, I think the main reason that Geno is struggling is some of the O-line. Abraham Lucas is hurt. And he has been a primary role when he is healthy. If he's healthy, he can do really good for their offensive line. But I would go after Walker Little for the Jacksonville Jaguars offensive line. I would try and go after him. I would try to go after a few O-linemen that are actually really good. I would and in the draft, either go after a quarterback or try to go after offensive line because we need help on both of those categories. Because O-line, I think we need more help on than quarterback right now. Because Geno, he's good, but he's not great. He's kind of like Dak Prescott in a way. From what I have noticed, if he's pressured and do not get a run game established, he can throw an interception at any given second. And as far as like the interceptions go, I think they need to start running the ball, run some trick plays, like on what the Vikings did just recently, when they had that little lateral to Justin Jefferson and then threw it to Aaron Jones for the first down. They need to have more of those trick plays. They need to have more of those, and I think that's what ultimately made the Seahawks under Pete Carroll. Those trick plays, those sneaky tricks, and if we can go back to that, they could be a dangerous team. I've always felt the Seahawks are one thing away from being a good team. I've always felt that way. I felt they're one thing away from being a good team. I don't know what it is. I'm starting to think it's quarterback. I'm starting to think that. But now Willie Gay will come out and kick for the Colts. A 53-yard attempt for the Colts. Kick is on its way. It's no good. Wide left. And the Vikings missed one earlier. And Matt Gay missed one wide to the left. My goodness. What a big missed kick by the Colts. That is a huge momentum shifter. And it is an indoor stadium. So that probably has some effect. Because there's no wind in an indoor stadium. Because Minnesota, I've seen the stadium from the outside. I've seen images. Their stadium is so cool. It's a really cool stadium. I've not been in there myself. But if I were to go there, I would for sure love to see it. Because I'm trying to create something. I'm trying to go out there and try to create a series. I'm not sure what the name is going to be called for it yet. But I'm gonna think of a name and see if I can do it in the near future. But Darnold looks to throw, throws it down the field. It is caught by Justin Jefferson and is down inside of the 40, around the 35, maybe down to the 36-yard line. And the Vikings are going to move 6 yards. I'm going to move very quickly because I think they're within the 2-minute warning. I cannot see the time because of the captions. I'm trying to see the time. I think there's about 1 minute left. Darnold looks to throw. And he just throws it to the ground and incomplete. Just Sam Darnold just ran out of time. Trying to set up a screen, but he just threw it to the ground, and that is a safe call. Just throwing it towards a wide receiver, and that is just a good move by Darnold. And that was a good pass to Justin Jefferson as well. But it is 2nd down and 10. About a minute left in the game, I believe, in the first half. And the Vikings trying to get on the board. 2nd down and 10. They are down by a touchdown. Darnold looks to throw. Throws it deep, and it is caught. It is, I believe, Justin Jefferson. Yes, it is. Justin Jefferson for a huge catch and a first down for the Vikings. And they are going to try to move this ball very quickly. Now, I don't know how much time there is left. I think there's about a minute left in this first half. You know what? I'm going to turn off the closed caption so that way I can see the time. Just to make it easier on everyone. So, CC, and then I'm going to do that. Okay, there we go. I have it set so now I can see the play clock. So there's a minute 13 left. The Colts used their first time out. So the Colts are trying to get the ball back potentially before the half ends. But the Vikes, they're trying to run down as much time as they can to try to get a touchdown on the last drive. But man, this game has been a very ugly, close game. But the Vikings might have a chance to get a touchdown before the half. They're at the Colts 11.5-yard line. We'll see. Darnold hands it off to Aaron Jones. He has got about 3 yards. He's got a gain of 3 inside of the 10. But the teeth for Justin Jefferson, they're like diamonds. I like that. That's really cool. And then, of course, the chains, the diamond chains. Those look really cool, I have to say. And Justin Jefferson sure knows his swag. He sure does. But, oh, did they potentially get snapped on that catch? No, I didn't see it. But it is 2nd down and 8 coming up for the Minnesota Vikings. And a potential touchdown coming for the Minnesota Vikings. And Jefferson is out to the left, and so is Hawkinson. Another receiver to the right, 3 to the left. And Darnold takes the snap, looks to throw. He is in trouble, and he is sacked. It is DeForest Buckner, the former 49er that spent some time with the San Francisco 49ers for some time, was a part of that team that went to Super Bowl 54 before losing to the Chiefs. And he's been thriving in Indianapolis. I personally think that he is better in this situation than with 49ers. But because the 49ers just don't know how to win in the big games. They don't know how to win against the Chiefs. And I've said this on a variety of occasions. If you can't beat Kansas City, you're not going to win a Super Bowl. I've said this on a variety of occasions. And every single Super Bowl champion since Mahomes has been in the league, there's been 4 Super Bowl champions that have not been Kansas City. Each of those champions have beaten Kansas City at least once. So I say that if you can't beat Kansas City, you're not going to win a Super Bowl. Which I think the Lions could potentially have a chance to take it this year. 3rd and 20 oncoming for the Minnesota Vikings. Darnold throws it, and it is caught by Jefferson and is not going to go anywhere further than the 15. And that will force the Vikings to a field goal. Unless Kevin O'Connell gets aggressive, which I think you should personally go for the points. So we'll see what Kevin O'Connell decides to do. It is 4th down and 12 if they decide to go for it. I think they would need to get around inside the 5 for a first down, which is very risky. They are keeping their offense on the field for now, but they are not going to do a drive. They're going to take down the time as much as they can, and then they're going to use their timeout. That's what Kevin O'Connell is doing. So while we're on this timeout, I'm going to go quickly get some water really quick. I'll be right back in just a second. Alrighty, I'm back. I just went to go get some water. But now the Vikings have a big decision. And looks like they're going to take the points. That's a good call by Kevin O'Connell. So it'll be a 31-yard field goal attempt for the Minnesota Vikings. Trying to get some points on the board before half. Kick is on the way and off the upright and no good again. It is no good. And wide to the right again for the second time tonight. My goodness. Just off the crossbar. My goodness. Just almost had it. If it was in there a little bit more to the left, he would have gotten it. And two big missed field goals by the Vikings. And that might come back to bite them. That might be the determining factor of this game. But let me see what games are next week since we have time so I can look at what teams I could potentially have picked for next week. So, let me see. So, Bengals and Ravens, that one is going to be a really good game. That one's going to be honestly a really good game. Two division rivals, and that is going to be a good matchup for the Bengals and the Ravens. And then Giants and Panthers. Ugh, that one is difficult because they're two very ugly teams. The Panthers did get the win, but I don't feel so confident about them when they're against the Giants because they made a close game with the Commanders. So I might go with the Giants on that one because I don't want to do it, but they just look better than Carolina. If they lose to them, they're officially the worst team in the NFC. So, and then Panthers versus Bears. I think the Bears are going to win that one. But I'm gonna keep my other ones hidden in secret, so that way I can have a surprise for some of those picks. Oh, and then the next week the Colts take on the Bills. So that is going to be interesting. Let me see if I can get a few more before we come back from commercial. Okay, then the Vikes take on the Jags. And then next week, a division rivalry in the AFC West as the Broncos will take on the Chiefs. So that will be an interesting game. I just think the Broncos are not going to do good in that game. And honestly, until they lose, I'm going with the Chiefs. I'm going with the Chiefs until they lose. And then Falcons and Saints, that one's going to be interesting. And then the 49ers do play Tampa Bay. I do expect Tampa Bay to lose that game because they're without Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. So that game could potentially be ugly for Tampa Bay. So that. Okay, so that is the half. So we are going to halftime. I'm going to stay on here so that way we can chat on sports. Send in questions if you have them for me. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any questions for me. Of like stuff around the NFL and all that, and I'll see if I can get to them. I'm just trying to put in my picks so that way I can be a step ahead of when I do my predictions. Okay. But let me know if you guys have any questions about different topics. Let me know because I can answer some. I can answer them. So, and then that I'm going to do beating them. And then I also know who are your top 5 QBs? I'll have that list in just a second. I'm going to finish up my picks. I'm almost done. So I'll get to that in a second. Man, that is good. I'm going to save the last 2 for later. But probably my top 5 quarterbacks, I would have Jaden Daniels at number 1. I really think that that rookie is shining. At number 2, I would probably have Lamar. Number 3, I would have Mahomes. Number 4, I would have Josh Allen. And then number 5, I would have Jared Goff. Just from looking at their statistical sheet, I would probably take Jared Goff ahead of Mahomes. But Mahomes is Mahomes. Yeah, Jaden Daniels, I got him at number 1. Just the way he's been looking. Daniels, I think right now could be a really good quarterback. But if the Commanders and Lions were to face each other right now, I would take Jared Goff. Because Jared Goff is more experienced right now. You know what? I would switch those 2 spots. I would switch Jared Goff to number 1 and then Jaden Daniels to number 5. I would switch those 2. So Jared Goff at number 1, Lamar at number 2, Mahomes at number 3, Josh Allen at number 4, and then Jaden Daniels at number 5. Because I think Jaden Daniels has some room to grow, but he's a really good player. Yeah. But Jared Goff, did you know he's thrown for more touchdown passes than he has interceptions? More touchdown passes than interceptions. So Mahomes, I would put him at number 1 just because of what his historical rate is. But because of the interceptions that he has thrown, and just because of the way that they have been winning, I would put Mahomes at number 3 or number 2, depending on what the Lamar would do. Because I know Lamar is not relatively good in the playoffs. So of course, if he overcomes that hump, then the Ravens could possibly make a Super Bowl run, but they have to get past Kansas City first. But I had this prediction at the beginning of the season. I had the Lions and Texans originally, but I'm thinking of changing that. I'm sticking with the Lions for my NFC pick. But the AFC, that is a huge question mark because you got the Ravens that are right now on a hot streak. They had a loss to the Browns, but then came back this week and beat the Broncos. And then the Chiefs, they are still undefeated. Then you also got the Bills that are currently on top of their division. So which would you want another quarterback on the Seahawks right now other than Mahomes? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Let me read that again. So would you want another quarterback on the Seahawks right now other than Mahomes? I mean, that is that's a good question. If Mahomes was a Seahawk, I think he would thrive in Seattle. Just looking at it from that perspective. He would work phenomenally with guys like DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, JSN, loads of guys on there. If he was there, I think that brother would thrive, and then the Seahawks would have a dynasty instead of like the Chiefs and the Patriots. But looking at it from right now, there is one quarterback that I have my eyes on. There is one quarterback in college that I'm looking at. Cam Ward. Cam Ward. For those of you that do not know, he played with Washington State a couple times. I watched him during his time at Washington State, and then I watched him during his time in Miami. They have won a few close nitty-gritty games, absolutely destroyed Duke this past week. But if the Seahawks can tank and get a top 2 pick, they can probably take Cam Ward. They probably could. Because if we look at some of the picks, Spencer Shedeur Sanders could probably go to the Browns. And then if the Seahawks were able to go and tank for a number 2 pick, then they could get Cam Ward, which I think would be their future. Because Cameron Ward, what that brother has done with Miami is amazing. He has the great receivers in Xavier Restrepo, in so many pieces on their squad. Of course, Travis Hunter is a really good piece. He can play wide receiver and corner. So Travis Hunter, I do think, could be one of those top 5 picks. But if I were to say what the Seahawks could draft, last I checked, they have the number 16 pick right now. Of course, that probably went up as they lost this week. But if I were to go with a player, if it was not Cam Ward, and if it wasn't Travis Hunter, I would probably go with a different player. And one that I have kept my eyes on that is a quarterback is a couple. I have a few listed. Jalen Milroe and Riley Leonard. Riley Leonard has had some struggles during his career, but most recently he has spent some time with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And I believe that we just need a new quarterback right now, if you want to talk about that comp. We really do need a new quarterback. So I don't know who that quarterback would be, but I would say this. If the Seahawks got a quarterback in the draft, I think it would take a few years to develop. And then if we do trade or go after a quarterback in free agency, I would go after Justin Fields. And Justin Fields, I really like that guy. What he's done in Pittsburgh during his first time before Russell Wilson took over, I do believe Justin Fields could thrive under the Seattle play calling. I do think that Jaden Daniels could be a really good player for the Seahawks. But, I mean, something is leaning out to me. And this is just recent from what I've seen from this quarterback. I cannot believe I'm about to say this, but I think the Seahawks should try to go get Russell Wilson back. I think they really should. Because Russell Wilson, he is trying his best to win in Pittsburgh. He is doing a phenomenal job. If the Seahawks do try to go and get Russell Wilson back, then that might be really interesting if he were to return. And, of course, there would be a big question mark because Russell Wilson has had that ego problem. But if he were to come back, I believe the ego would change. And I would just hope Russell Wilson could do better from what he was during his time in Denver. But it's and a few quarterbacks I'm looking at in free agency. I'm looking at Justin Fields and then maybe potentially Malik Willis. Potentially. If he is going to be a free agent. But they're showing a play from Saquon. I did not see what ended up happening. But Derrick Henry, that brother was going off today. He really was. I think he had two rushing touchdowns against the Donkeys. So that is good for Derrick Henry. But we're going to be back from the halftime in just a little bit. But Derrick Henry, that is his 101st career rushing touchdown. And the Ravens, they really do look good. They do look good. But the only concern that I have with the Ravens is if they can beat Kansas City in the playoffs. That's the only concern I have for the Ravens. Other than that, if they were not to face a team like Kansas City in the playoffs, I think they could potentially make a Super Bowl run. If Kansas City does indeed fall to some team early, which is highly unlikely, because they've just been notorious to make those AFC Championship games. But I think we're about to return from half here in just a little bit. So we will, of course, wait and see what ends up happening. I'm just getting some candy here. I'm just waiting for halftime to come back. So I think we're close to being at the. I think we're close for the second half being started. But let me know if you guys have any more questions before we come back from the half. Let me know in the comment. Let me know in the chat if you all have any questions for me in the half and before we get back from halftime. And according to my thing, I think we might have been off from a couple of plays as well. So we'll, of course, wait and see if that's going to stay the same. Okay. Let me go back to my weekly predictions for week 10 before we come back from commercial and before the second half gets underway. So, I'm going to go with the lines after that. So, then go with the Lions after that. Alright, so I do believe we are close to being at the coming back from halftime. But man, it is just not. It's looking pretty like it's a relatively ugly game. The Colts are up on the Vikings 7-0 right now. So we'll see if the Vikings can respond. But I think the Vikings. I think they get the ball to start the second half. I think they do. But here's the first half replay from what we originally had. But Joe Flacco and the Colts currently do lead on the Minnesota Vikings 7-0 right now. So of course it was Zaire Franklin on that pick, and then Kenny Moore with the scoop and score for the Colts. The only touchdown on the board for the Colts. That's the only touchdown. No other offensive touchdowns for this team. For either team, pretty much. Alright, so we're about to come back from the third quarter. For the third quarter of this football game, the Vikings, first home game with 0 points in the first half since Week 15 against the Colts in 2022 when they had that comeback. Maybe it's the same thing here. But Stewart, his first career game with multiple sacks. Kenny Moore, his fourth career defensive touchdown. And just Darnold. When pressure comes, he has just been a roast. And he's had an interception, 3 sacks, and then a fumble that returned it for the touchdown. But the Vikings were down on the Colts before in their building, and now we'll see if that's going to change. Oh, and then the kids were playing against the mascots. That is really cool. And the kids did a little celebration of like the bowling pins that the Vikings did a couple of years ago. And I still don't know why they got rid of celebrations like that. That was just so funny, so cool to see. But now the Vikings will get it into the end zone for a touchback. And Shane Steichen has been primarily on a good head coach. He is 2-0 when leading at the half this season. We will see if they can keep that up. But Colts, they're going to have their work cut out for them because the Vikings, we all know, do not go down easy. So the Vikings, this is their second primetime game in the last 2 weeks. This is their second back-to-back primetime game against the Colts. We'll see if they can shine in the brightest of lights. Darnold fakes the handoff, looks to throw, has a man. It is caught by Jefferson, and he's still on his feet, out of bounds around midfield and probably maybe inside of Colt territory. And a huge first down for the Minnesota Vikings early on the first drive of the second half. But man, this is a good game so far. This is a good game. So yeah, Jefferson was able to stay on his feet. That was a good way to stay on his feet for Justin Jefferson. Being able to stay on his feet, break that tackle. But yeah, they are inside of Vikings territory. Inside Colts territory. And handoff to Aaron Jones. Jones is carried for about a 4-yard gain. Maybe even 5. So it'll bring up second down and manageable for the Vikings. Second down and 6 to be precise. But yeah, some of the games have been surprising this week. But I only have gotten 4 wrong this week. Only 4. So that is really good news if you're me, of course. Over 500 once again. But second down and 6 coming up for the Vikes. Darnold throws it, and it is caught. And it's T.J. Hawkinson for a first down near the 25-yard line, caught at the 26. And a huge catch for the former Detroit Lion, T.J. Hawkinson. And man, he has found himself wide open. Black Moon and Zaire Franklin were not in the area. So T.J. Hawkinson gets a first down catch. So 26 at the 26. And I think we got an encroachment. I think we possibly got an encroachment against the defense. Yep, offsides. Offsides against the defense. It is number 90, Grover Stewart, guilty of the penalty, who has had a career night tonight with multiple sacks. But the Vikings are threatening right now as they're inside of the Colts 20. So we'll see what they can do. But T.J. Hawkinson has career-high receptions and receiving yards last season with the Vikings. And hopefully that can continue for that young man. And a handoff to Aaron Jones. Jones down the left side. He is close to the first down. Almost got enough. Just about a yard short of the first down. And now bring up second down and 1. Coming up for the Minnesota Vikings. And my goodness, this is looking like a potential scoring drive for the Vikes. And a run up the middle, and he has got it. First down for the Vikings. Around the 16-yard line, and that's a first down for the Minnesota Vikings. It is 7-0 in favor of Indianapolis. The Vikings are trying to tie up this game. So let's see what they can do. So, and Cam Robinson had a really good day against the Colts when they were playing against, when he was a part of Jacksonville. Had no sacks allowed, but he's already allowed 1, I believe. But Darnold in the back. Here, face the handoff, quick throw. It is caught by Jefferson. Only a gain of about 1.5 yards. And that'll bring up second down for the Minnesota Vikings. But pretty much if you're the Vikings, you need to score on this drive. If you're the Vikings, you got to score on this drive. Because your defense right now is able to stop the Colts. And you just cannot rely on your kicker right now. You just can't rely on him. Second and 9 coming up for the Vikings. Darnold looks to throw. Throws it to the end zone. It is incomplete. Almost caught. It was almost a catch, but just incomplete. 3rd and 9 oncoming for the Minnesota Vikings. It is 3rd and 9 coming up for the Minnesota Vikings. Oh man, this is a very close game. Right now, early. And he had it. It was the ground that forced it out. He had it. It was the ground. 3rd down and 9 oncoming for the Minnesota Vikings. 3rd and 9 coming up. And Darnold in the back. Takes the snap. Looks to throw. Has time. Throws it. And it is caught. It's a first down. Jordan Addison inside the 5. And it is 1st and goal for the Minnesota Vikings. The first time tonight for the Minnesota Vikings. It is 1st and goal for the Minnesota Vikings for the first time tonight. And my goodness, we got potentially a good score upcoming for the Vikes. Oh man, I'm starting to get tired. But I'm going to continue to try to call through this game. So 1st and goal for the Minnesota Vikings. And the first time this game, Darnold looks to throw, being pressured, throws it, and it is in, caught! Touchdown Minnesota! Jordan Addison, the 2-year man out of Pittsburgh, gets the big catch for the touchdown. And the Vikings are right back in this game as they are 1 point away from tying this game. What a little pivot by Sam Darnold. What a pass. And right there to Jordan Addison, and that is a touchdown Vikings. My goodness, what a play. And Jordan Addison was just wide open. My goodness. Vikings, the extra point is on its way, and that time it goes through. We are tied 7 apiece, going just in the first drive into the second half. But man, that was a great pass. But I'm going to go and get some more water really quick. Or wait, no, I can't because it's empty. But man, this game has already become really good so far. And now it's only going to get better from here. Well, we'll see if the Vikings can keep this momentum going. We'll see if they can keep this momentum going. Pups are laying down right now. They're really tired. As am I. I'm close to them. But we're about 1/2 away from this game ending, so there's about a little time left. And I don't think I see anybody in here right now. Let me see if I can have some people tune in. Are you watching my live stream?
I will right now. Let's see.
Oh, I was putting it in the chat, in my message. So we'll see if I can get some people in here. Of course, from my family's perspective. So get that going. So not yet, but hopefully get some people here soon. But we'll see what ends up happening in this game. But it is 7 apiece with 10 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Third quarter just getting underway, and the Vikings score on the opening possession of the second half. So Vikings and Joe Flacco are going to get this football back. We'll see what Joe Flacco can do. And at this rate, if they can't get any more first downs, they will need to try and get this going. So let me just see the chat room, my text really quick. Okay. So I got someone in here. So it is currently 1st and 10 for the Colts right now. It's a flip back to number 16. I do not know who that number is, but it's a first down for the Colts. So it's a 1st and 10 for the Indianapolis Colts. But that's a good little trickery. Is that Donnie Mitchell? It possibly could be. I think that's Donnie Mitchell. But we'll see. Could you fill up the water?
Just did.
Okay. So, 1st and 10 for the Colts at the 42-yard line of their own zone. Flacco looks to throw, has time. He has plenty of time. Throws it. It is caught by the left side. It is Alec Pierce for the catch, and it's going to be near the marker, and it'll depend on the spot. It will depend on the spot. But let's see how many seconds he had. He had 5 seconds to throw that pass. 5 seconds. And the O-line of the Colts is right now doing pretty good. But they're switching it to a 1st and 10 for the Colts. So it's 1st down for the Indianapolis Colts. Alright, so Sam Darnold on the sideline studying some film. Trying to get something going on their offense. They already got a touchdown, so that is good news. If you're, of course, a Vikings fan. But 1st and 10 for the Indianapolis Colts. And Flacco looks to throw. He throws. It is down the right and incomplete. Throws it out of bounds, and I'll bring up 2nd down and 10. And there is a flag down late, so hold on. It is a hold against the offense, so it'll be a 10-yard penalty, and it'll remain 1st down. It is Smith on the hold. And it was the rookie Dallas Turner bringing the pressure. Or, well, the rookie Dallas Turner was outside. That I've not seen from the rookie Dallas Turner. And I don't think I've seen him in this, him being a factor for a while. So we'll see what they can do. Very few penalties this game, so they're letting the guys play. So 1st and 20 from their own 42-yard line. Throws it, and it hit as he threw an incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd down and 20 now after the 10-yard penalty was forced. But I have gummies right here, but I don't want to eat them right now on air.
Okay.
So I'll wait on that. I'll wait until we get to commercial, and then I'll have these little gummies. They're little like fiber gummies. So they're probably my good way to get fiber. So Dallas Turner is on this play. The rookie out of Alabama is on the side. Looks like he's going to bring pressure, and he slips out. Flacco looks to throw. Has time. Throws. Is caught by Michael Pittman Jr., and it is close to a 1st down, but it'll be 3rd and manageable for the Colts. And man. And the Colts need to convert on this big 3rd down to try to keep their hopes on getting a field goal alive, because, well, right now they missed some, so they probably want to try to get a touchdown, or they'll be forced to punt. 3rd and 6 now oncoming for the Colts. Joe Flacco in the back. 3 receivers to the left, 3 to the right. So, a few offensive linemen in there. Flacco looks to throw, has time, pressure comes, he throws it, and it's bad in the air, almost intercepted on the play. But it was Pace Jr. in the vicinity, could potentially pick that off, but Javon Grenard, the former Texan, getting the pressure, and a huge forced punt by the Vikings defense. Yeah, it was Jonathan Grenard on the bat. So, and that could have been picked off. So, and what is this? They are looking to go for it. Flacco being dangerous right now. Are they going to go for it, or are they just going to try to get the snap? Fake them out. And they are going to take the delay of game or call a timeout. They're going to take the delay of game, so that way it backs them up 5 yards to give them additional space to kick the field, to punt it. So that is a good news for the Minnesota Vikings, as they are now about to get the ball back. And Brandon Powell will be back to return for the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings are currently tied 7 apiece, trying to get the lead back. So it is 4th and 6, and the Colts are going to be forced to punt. The Colts are going to be forced to punt. So 4th and 6, and it is punted back to Brandon Powell. And it is going to go into the end zone, and that will be a touchback. So I think we're about to go to commercial. If I'm correct, yes we are. So I'm going to take this break to go and get some water, and I'll be back in just a second. Alright, I'm back. Alrighty, so the Vikings are gonna get the ball back, so they can potentially try to take the lead here. But we'll see if they can do that. Well, I'm gonna mute myself for just a second.
What if you just end it after the quarter? Because we've got a super busy day tomorrow. We have a lot of good time.
Yeah, and yeah, so
Okay.
I'll. So I don't know if you all could hear, but I'm going to cut this stream at the end of the third quarter. I have a lot on my to do right now, so unfortunately I am going to cut the stream at the end of the third quarter. Or potentially, if the Vikings do try to get a touchdown, and they do, I am going to cut the stream at the end of the third quarter. Because I do have a lot of stuff to do. I have a very busy day tomorrow. Because I have job stuff going on. So I'm going to cut the stream at the end of the third quarter. I'm going to cut the stream at the end of the third. So if y'all want to tune in. I'm going to cut the stream at the end of the third quarter. So be sure to tune in if you have the chance right now, because in 7 minutes 53 seconds, I'm going to cut the stream for the game. So Darnold throws, it is caught, and is down for a first down. It is 84. I'm not familiar with who that is. I think that's Josh Oliver. I believe that is Josh Oliver, if I'm correct. So the Vikings have pretty much won the first down battle, as they have a lot more than the Colts do. But if you didn't hear, I'm going to cut the stream at the end of the third. I have a very busy schedule ahead of me tomorrow, so I will be cutting this at the end of the third quarter. But Darnold in shotgun, looks to throw, has time, throws it in, and it is out of bounds, incomplete. But there is a flag down. There is a flag down, so we'll see what that is. So we're waiting on the flag. It looks like a hold against the defense. It was on Jalen Jones, I believe. Jalen Jones guilty of the hold, and that will give the Vikings an automatic first down. And I'm going to cut this stream at the third quarter because I have a very busy day ahead of me tomorrow. I'm going to cut this stream at the end of the third, so tune in if you can. So I'm going to cut the stream at the end of the third quarter because I got this very busy day ahead of me tomorrow. I've got jobs and all that. But hand off to Jones. He's got about 4 yards on the carry. So that will bring up a second down and manageable for the Minnesota Vikings. And the defense on the sideline waiting for their next opportunity to try to get a stop for the Minnesota Vikings. But second down and 7 now after the 3-yard gain. And man, second down and 7. It is 7 apiece. Vikings are trying to look to take the lead. All right, so for second and 7 from their own 41, or 39, my bad. Darnold looks to throw. He's going to tuck and roll. He is going to slide down around midfield. So a big, cool awareness play by Sam Darnold. So that is a first down for the Vikes. 6 minutes and 13 seconds to go in the third quarter. So we will see if the Vikings can get a touchdown on this drive. They were able to get one in the last drive. Can they get one this drive? We will soon find out. But also, I will be live tomorrow as I will be doing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going against the Kansas City Chiefs. And Darnold flips it back to Aaron Jones. Jones, close to the first down, brought down only for a gain of 8. And now bringing up second down and 2 for the Minnesota Vikings. But a really good play by Sam Darnold. The flip back, that is working really good for the Minnesota Vikings and Aaron Jones. And I think Josh Oliver is coming off the field. So Aaron Jones, he has been really good in this game. He's had a good night. Not a touchdown for him yet. We'll see if the Vikings can get a touchdown on this drive. Second down and 2 coming up for the Vikings. And inside of Colts territory, hand off to Aaron Jones. He is going to be snuffed for no gain on the carry. Now bring up third and 2 for the Minnesota Vikings. And it'll bring up third down and 2 with about 5 minutes left in the game, in the third quarter. But the kicker is ready on the sideline and waiting if they do need him, because he's missed 2 field goals today. So second down and 2, my bad. Darnold looks to throw, throws it down the field and wide open. What a catch, Jefferson! First down inside the 5. Justin Jefferson making a 5-star grab, and that's a first down for the Minnesota Vikings. What a grab from Justin Jefferson. And man, we got a good game ahead of us. And I'm glad they swapped the Eagles and Jaguars out so we can get this game. That is really cool that they did this game. Darnold hands it off to Jones, and he is short. I think he's potentially brought down for a loss of 1. And oh boy, we got a little chirping going on between Aaron Jones and Zaire Franklin. We got a little chirping. But luckily, no flag is thrown. And Shane Steichen on the sideline for the Colts as their head coach. And Darnold right now coming up with a play call. It's second and goal for the Minnesota Vikings. Trying to get a touchdown. And Anthony Richardson is just watching it on the sideline, even though Joe Flacco is starting ahead of him. And second and goal. And a flag is down. A delay of game. The clock ran out, or was a timeout called? A timeout called by Minnesota to avoid a delay of game. So Minnesota has used one of their 3 timeouts. So they have 2 remaining. And it was a good job by Kevin O'Connell getting the officials' attention for the timeout.
Field like that?
Huh?
Can you go out on a field like that?
Yeah, he could do that because of the he needs to call a timeout in order to do that. So the 5-2 Minnesota Vikings trying to go to 6-2 and overtake the Green Bay Packers for second place of the NFC North. And of course, the Lions do have the head-to-head advantage against the Vikes, which that will be a determining game near the end of the season, as they will face in the regular season finale. So second and goal now coming up for the Minnesota Vikings at the 2-yard line of Indianapolis. And Darnold flips it back to Jones. Jones cuts back and is tackled for a loss. And that'll bring up a third down and goal from the 8-yard line. A loss of 6 on the play. And Aaron Jones trying to get something going. And what a play by the Colts defense. Great awareness. But we'll see if the Vikings can get it into the end zone. They were able to on the last drive. Can they get it in on this drive? Third down and goal coming up for the Vikes. And Darnold looks to throw it. Has time. Throws it to the end zone. Caught. And it's a touchdown. Minnesota. It is Nealer for the touchdown. Jalen Nealer for the Viking touchdown. And the Vikings have taken the lead for the first time tonight. And the Vikings get a huge touchdown on a third and goal. And my goodness, what a play by Jalen Nealer. Because they normally have, in those situations, they always have eyes on Jefferson. They never look for guys like Jalen Nealer. They never look for guys like that. Extra point is on its way, and it is good. The Vikings have taken the lead 14-7. 14-7. So the Vikings have the lead. I'm going to cut the stream at the end of the third quarter, unfortunately, because I do have a busy day ahead of me tomorrow. So I'm going to cut the stream at the end of the third. So if you just missed it, Jalen Nealer scored a touchdown for the Minnesota Vikings, giving them the lead 14-7. And I'm going to cut the stream at the end of the third quarter because I got a very busy day ahead of me tomorrow. So I'm just going to let my people know. I've got a very busy day ahead of me tomorrow. Okay. So I'm going to cut this stream at 3 at the end of the third quarter. So we will see what the Vikings, if the Colts can respond. But the Colts, they need to do something because at this rate, they might be doing what they did last time, which is give up a lead to the Vikings, which gives them the win, which could give them the win. So we'll see what ends up happening. I was having a few bits of candy before we just so that way we just something to snack on. Oh, Notre Dame will take on Florida State next week. Very cool. Okay, so that was just a great pass by Sam Darnold on that last play. Even as he was being brought down. And it will be down in the end zone for a touchback. So the Colts will have one more, will have another chance at potentially tying this football game. I'm going to go throw these wrappers away really quick. I'll be right back. Oh, and it did look like Darnold did get hit on the play, so he's potentially hurt right now. So Sam Darnold is on the sideline. So flip back to Jonathan Taylor as they will get about 1 yard on the carry. But Sam Darnold, the quarterback for the Vikings, did appear to get hit on the play, and he is looking all right, but he was a little shooken up on that play, that touchdown play. So Joe Flacco trying to put up a response But in 2 minutes, I'm going to end this stream because I have a very busy day ahead of me. But I'm going to do that until the end of the third quarter. So, Flacco takes the handoff, throws. It is caught by Jonathan Taylor, close to a first down, wrapped down at the 35-yard line, and that'll bring up third down and manageable for the Colts. And I think it was DJ Turner that brought him down, the rookie out of Alabama. 3rd and 5 coming up for the Colts. So they need to convert this. They need to do something on offense. So I might just stay here, and if it does go past the third quarter, I'm going to stay until the Colts drive comes to an end. If it does go past the end of the third quarter, but we'll see. 3rd and 5, Flacco looks to throw, throws it looking deep, and it is caught. It is, I believe, Isaiah Downs. Yes, it is Isaiah Downs for the catch and a first down for the Colts. So on this next drive, I'm going to end, after this drive ends, I'm going to end this stream because it is getting close to the end of the third quarter. So at the end of this drive, I will end the stream here. So Flacco throws. It is caught by Downs. Downs down the right side, and it is a first down at inside of the 40. So a big time gain for the Colts. And Flacco trying to pull off some magic later in this late part of this football game. So 1st and 10 from the Vikings 38-yard line. A handoff of the middle, and is going to go nowhere on the carry. And my goodness. And that'll take us to the end of the third quarter. So I'm going to wait until the Colts drive comes to a close before I end this stream. I'm going to wait until the Colts drive ends. But they're going to look to try to get another playoff before the end of the third. And it doesn't look like they will. They were just trying to get them to jump. And that is the end of the third quarter. So I'm going to wait until the Colts drive ends. And then I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to wait until the Colts drive ends. And then I'm going to end the stream. So currently it is 14-7 in favor of Minnesota. They are currently on top right now. The Colts are looking to try and get a response. So we'll see if the Colts can put up an answer. Hold on just a second, guys. I'm going to mute myself for just a second. So at the end of the Colts drive, I'm going to end this stream because I have a very busy day ahead of me tomorrow. I would stay throughout the entire game, but I have a very busy day ahead of me tomorrow. So unfortunately, I'm going to end the stream after the Colts drive ends. So we'll see what they can do. I'm going to mute myself for just 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. I was just having a discussion. So next week in Munich, Germany, will be the Giants and the Panthers. That is going to be a very ugly game. Very ugly. I'm not going to even do that one. But Andrew Luck was one of the quarterbacks for the Colts until he left. Carson Wentz and Phillip Rivers tried to do good, but ultimately, it's just not looking good. The Colts have been on a QB carousel, and they're just trying to find their future quarterback, which was supposed to be Anthony Richardson, but I don't think that's going to happen because Richardson is trying to grow in maturity, but we'll see what they can do. So I'm going to end this stream at the end of the Colts drive. Flacco looks to throw. He's in trouble, and he is wrapped down only for a gain of 1. There is a flag. So hold on a second. There is a flag down. It looks like it is from the secondary. Let's see who the flag is against. A personal foul, illegal chop block against the Colts. So that is a 15-yard penalty. So let's see what happens. So there's Andrew Van Ginkel. Oh, yep, that's a chop block at its finest. Right there. So an illegal chop block against the Colts. That is a 15-yard penalty, I believe, if I'm correct. And yes, it is. 15-yard penalty, so it'll bring up second down and 25 from around midfield. Back at the Colts' own 48-yard line. So a huge penalty. So, and another flag, a false start, I think. Yep, and a false start against the Colts. The crowd being a very big factor in this second half. It is Smith guilty of the false start. So, a huge penalty now. It is second down and 30 coming up for the Colts. And the Vikings crowd is getting loud up in there. So, second and 30 coming up for the Indianapolis Colts. They need to get in at least in field goal range. Flacco looks to throw, throws it deep down right, and it is caught. Wasn't he still in bounds? Yes, he was. Adonai Mitchell, the rookie out of Texas, with a big catch for a huge first down. Let's see the feet. There's one, and oh man, that is close. I think he might have gotten that second foot just in. Ooh, yeah, I think that's a catch. I think that is a catch. So one, and then, ooh, that is close. It looks like his second foot came down as his knee was hitting the turf. So they're going to try to get this play off very quickly. And Flacco dives. And throws it down the left side, and it is picked off! Intercepted by the Vikings. And it is number 7 for the Vikings defense coming out with a huge interception. And it is Byron Murphy Jr. Two Byron Murphys. It's not the Byron Murphy of Seattle. It is Byron Murphy Jr. So a big time pick, and that will do it for our stream. So I hope you all enjoyed. I am going to have to cut this stream here. I hope you all enjoyed. And I will be live tomorrow between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to cut this stream here. I have a very busy day ahead of me tomorrow. I have the stream between Tampa Bay and Kansas City, and also got a few work things to get done. So I'm going to cut the stream here. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you all later. Ciao for now.